Perlmutter.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. I guess, Mr. Smith, I'm bewildered by your argument because the President of the United States is anything but a private citizen, period. And the last president, the ex-president, Donald Trump, never wants to be a private citizen. He wants to be in the public eye. His finances have always been a matter of question. 6 of his companies filed bankruptcy. Okay, there's always been an issue around this. And for all of you, I guess I'd ask both of you, how many appeals did Donald Trump take on releasing his tax returns? I would say he went up and down to the Supreme Court 3 times on this subject. So for my friend Ms. Fishbach to say, oh, you guys have delayed, why are you doing this at the end of the session and all that stuff, baloney. This is 4 years of dilatory tactics by the ex-president. And, you know, it may be that only Joe Biden on a going forward basis is the person who can have his taxes audited. But I'll tell you, the reason is because of the steps that were taken by the ex-president. So, Ms. Chu, I don't know if you know how many appeals were taken to delay this thing. I know your committee started asking for this a long time ago.
Chairman Neal asked for these returns 4 years ago, and indeed there were numerous delays to getting them. It wasn't until November, that we actually got them and found out how derelict the IRS was in actually conducting the mandatory presidential audits. So what this is about the office of the presidency. It's not about one president. I really want to emphasize this. It's about how the presidency is given transparency. And with this audit, we will be able to see if the president is indeed conducting his or her business in the proper manner with regard to their finances. And it would be for this president and all future presidents. The American public has the right to know.
Mr. Smith?
I think, Mr. Perlmutter, you articulated very clearly this. You're saying that this is about President Trump. The chairman says, no, it's about Joe Biden. My concern is that for the time frame that you mentioned, of all of the appeals and so forth, only this week marks the beginning of a legislative proposal. It could have started a long time ago, and even in an effort to bring us together.
All right, that's a fair response. That is a fair response. But the problem here is, and the only reason we're doing this is because of 4 years of refusal to follow any tradition that has been brought by presidents of releasing their tax returns. And the question was, what does the ex-president have to hide? Well, you're right. On a going forward basis, this will affect other presidents, not him. We had to go through 49 subpoenas to be able to get these returns that other presidents, Democrats and Republicans, had released on their own. But not that one. So,
but understand that the tradition of releasing
well, tradition
taxes
is not the law.
is before the election,
Sure.
and the voters ultimately decide.
The tradition is not the law. Well, we're apparently prepared to change the law to meet the tradition that President Trump was not prepared to follow. So I'm going to yield back to the chair.
Mr.